All right. Can somebody give me some feedback? Am I lagging? I'm having internet difficulty as usual. So, anyone's there? Could you tell me if I'm lagging? Hey, Robert, are you there? Just let me know if I'm lagging. I'm okay. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate that. You can see I was training in the sand pit and got my nose busted up. My nose has been broken 12 times. So it's nothing new to me. Now, if you got any questions, just come at me with the questions. I love questions. Like, I have a question. I'm going to get my son the best airsoft gun that I could find. Yeah, chasing parked cars will do that. Also, getting punched in the face. No, they don't make nose guards. Well, actually, some headgear does, but you can hear me talk for 2 seconds and no, I don't wear headgear. I've been hitting the head a lot. Good afternoon, Amber. Nice to have you here. Like I said, if you have any questions, just shoot away with the questions. I love answering questions. Seeing there is 3 different types of weightlifting, so I'm excited to do deadlifting. Awesome. And I also got something I'm going to send over for you to use too. You got to warm up before you lift or you'll hurt yourself. I know that. I learned everything the hard way. Try to learn from me so you don't have to learn it the hard way. I learned everything the hard way. I'm pretty much an example of what not to do. But yeah, I'm getting the best airsoft there is in the world for my son to train him tactically how to fight. And I'm not getting it for him to shoot lizards because he's going to have to get shot with it to know what it feels like. Because that's not nice just shooting at animals unless you plan on eating them. But y'all come at me with some questions. I need that. I can talk about, you really need to plant a garden. I have a foraging video list. You really need to watch that because when you forage plants, you don't have to take care of it. And there's so much nutrition in those wild grown plants that it's a lot of those wild grown plants has more. Yeah, deadlifting will hurt your back. Work up to it slowly. I have stress knots in my back from MMA, not slamming people properly. My coach tried to warn me, but I wouldn't listen. Now, here I am with back trouble. But grow you a garden, learn how to forage, make trout lines. And no, it's not for catching trout. A trout line is basically a line you string out, you tie hooks to it, you put bait on it, it does the fishing for you. Snares and trout lines and cast nets is my preferred method of fishing. Now, I like using a rod and reel, but I mainly use those to catch alligators with. But, I appreciate you all being here. And like I said, if there's anything I could answer, just ask. And, I'll give you my opinion. For instance, my opinion is, let's see, I've been collecting over the years, refrigerator, etc., for metal side panels. This is free. Yes. Scavenging. I've been doing a lot of scavenging lately because that's going to be a big part of survival. One man's trash is another man's treasure. I made a video on scavenging the other day, and I got a lot of good stuff. People are throwing away stuff that I just don't understand why they're throwing it away. I've been in Cuba, and they repurpose everything. They don't throw anything away. They literally use everything. Roof to sheet. Yes. Yep. Save everything. A lot of people don't know this, but an old microwave makes a good Faraday cage. If we're getting hit by a solar flare or an EMP, put your critical communications inside the microwave and close it and unplug it, and it's already a Faraday cage already made. So, when you see an old microwave, you're like, well, you might want to put your walkie-talkies and your batteries and stuff like that in there that you think that solar flare or that EMP may harm. It's a free Faraday cage. But, you need to train. I cannot emphasize how important training is. That way, you just do it. It's a natural reaction. Somebody comes at me with a blade. I don't even think about it. I just react. Yes, definitely. Keep it in an old microwave. That's a good one. A lot of people don't know, that a microwave is a Faraday cage. It's built that way to hold in the radiation because it literally cooks your food with radiation. Now, whether you want to eat food cooked with radiation, that's up to you. I personally don't use one because I do enough to harm my health without adding to it. Right now, it's crucial to take care of yourself because when the grid goes down, it doesn't matter how much money you have. Your health is so important. I'm trying to take better care of myself because I am my worst enemy most of the time. But I quit drinking alcohol. I don't drink that anymore. I may occasionally have a beer with my biker buddies, but that's it. And I am still addicted to those vapes. Where I work at, those girls give them to me. I will not spend my money on those. I'm very frivolous, because I don't have a lot of money, but I have a lot of needs, such as my son. I want to get him a really good quality airsoft gun. Actually, two, a pistol and a rifle, and train him in combat scenarios. Paintball and airsoft is a great way. It's simulated combat. It's a great tool to learn. But you need to understand, a lot of people fail to understand, there's a difference between concealment and cover. I had somebody comment, I made a video on putting sandbags in your home, and somebody commented, I got furniture for that. And I've never seen any furniture that would stop a 223 or a 9mm. I have literally shot through a pressure treated 4x4 with a 9mm, and it just goes clean through like a drill. But sandbags, for some reason, will stop a lot of incoming. Now, if you ever been in the combat zone, you will learn sandbags is life. You won't live long in the combat zone without having you some good sandbags to hide behind, because it will stop a lot of incoming. Yeah, I couldn't understand that. Somebody's like, I don't need sandbags. I'm not picking on them. They just don't know. The furniture is not going to stop a large caliber weapon. It's not even going to slow it down. Sandbags will. I don't know. There's just something about that sand that stops the incoming. I'm not even sure the science behind that. I just know it works because I'm still here. And a lot of people, when I was on the Angry Prepper, they had a misconception of what a bunker is. A bunker does not have to be underground. There's a lot of bunkers I've encountered that were above ground. I've seen people in other countries literally have a bunker built inside their home. That way, when you come through their front door, you got real trouble, because they're waiting behind sandbags. The first man in. Yeah, safe space, furniture made out of sandbags. There you go. There you go. Hey, whatever works. Yeah. Look, what you see on TV, that's not reality. I watch a lot of movies where I'll see somebody duck behind a piece of plywood, and that stops the incoming. And no, it'll go right through that plywood like it ain't nothing. It's don't believe all that stuff you see in the movies. It would be comfy. Sand is actually comfy. I've slept on a sandbag bed before, but that's because I didn't want to lay in the mud. And when you're tired, when you're really tired, you can sleep anywhere. That's why, like, the best time to catch your enemy is when they're first coming out of their encampment and they're dolling around, or when they're tired and coming back in. That's a good time to set up an ambush for them, because they're tired. And they think they're close to home. Yay, I'm at home base. I'm safe. That's a great place. And cut the head off the snake. Whoever you see them saluting, that's who you get. Or whoever is pointing and doing all the talking, that's who you target. Because when you take out, mentally off guard. Exactly. They are mentally off guard. See, with me, I can't turn it off. They taught me how to turn it on. They did not teach me how to turn it off. So I'm always on guard. Always. You can't catch me off guard. Even when I'm asleep, any little thing. My wife, she's amazed because I will wake up. It'll be absolute darkness. And I'll wake up and go, what the hell is that? And it will, every once in a while, a roach will get into the bunker, and I could literally hear a roach crawling. And I wake up and I find it, and I dispose of it. Sandbags against the foundation under your house, drop through the hatch in the floor, go out the back while they are inside. Wait till they come out. You know where. Yes, absolutely, Robert. That's a blessing about living in a trailer. If I lived in a trailer, I would definitely cut me a hole in the floor and have me a trap door where I could drop through the bottom of that and light them up. Just light them up. You shoot somebody in the feet, they're going to fall down. Yeah. Somewhere where you can get to it quickly. A lot of people don't understand, if you live in a trailer, even a 22 caliber will go from stem to stern through that thing. I mean, I personally, I don't feel safe inside a trailer. I'm honest here. You're going to get the truth from me. I do have PTSD. And most homes, they have too many windows for me. Like inside my bunker, I don't have any windows now. Do I have a way out and a way in? Hell yeah, I do. Can I see out from everywhere? Hell yeah, I do. Because if you can't see out, you're in a coffin. Yeah, you're right, Robert. You're absolutely correct. But if now y'all guys let me know if I start lagging. My internet is terrible out here. So I'm doing the best I can. And little Miss Prepper isn't here, so I'm kind of on my own. And she's pretty much the brains of the outfit when it comes to this tech stuff. Yes. I hate sliding glass doors with a passion. I hate them. And okay, thank you. Little Miss Prepper's watching, I guess. Yeah, glass doors say come and get it. What I do if I'm living in a regular home. Now, little Miss Prepper, when she moved in with me and I lived in an apartment, she's like, why in the hell do you got plywood bolted to the walls over all the windows and the sliding glass doors? And I told her, it's the life that I live. That's why. What I do, if I lived in a house or a trailer, I would fortify everything and leave one weak spot. Like when little Miss Prepper, we first got together, I had the whole place fortified except for one window. And that was at the end of the hallway. And I would leave that window open, and I would sit at the end of the hallway, and I would just sit there, just waiting for somebody to come through. They would have had a bad day if they'd have come through that window. I always have a weak spot. That way I know where they're going to come through. It's bait. Yeah. Yeah, Robert. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mobile homes, that they're really hard to defend. Now, if you put sandbags inside of it, you can have you a fighting position. Like for me, for instance, if I was attacking someone that lived in a mobile home, I would just shoot them right through the wall. You know, if I seen them looking out the window, if I seen them step back to us, I'd just shoot them right through the wall. That's what I would do. But if you had sandbags in there, if you had you a strong position to where you could take on incoming, you could stand behind them sandbags while they think they're lighting you up. You're just sitting there like, uncut line, random wood piles, trip wires. Yes. Yep. That's what I like about an uncut. You know, when little Miss Prepper got with me, she was like, why don't you mow your yard? Man, it looks terrible. I'm like, because I could sneak around out there in that tall grass and pop up anywhere. I'm really good. You know, if you play paintball and airsoft, just doing that, you'll get really good at sneaking around and hiding. Just remember, there is a difference between cover and concealment. If I'm going up against somebody, if I see a good hide spot and they already know where I'm at, I'm just going to randomly shoot in that spot. And a lot of times you'll hear them holler. Paintball is a very effective training method. He would probably do really good in a gunfight playing paintball. Redneck Trail Rider. I love that name, by the way. I love Redneck Trail Riders. I like that name. That is awesome. I'm a redneck, as you could tell. You know, it is what it is. I'm just an old redneck country boy. You know, it is what it is. We bought film for our windows. It makes them shatterproof better. Yes, because, you know, somebody lights up that window. You don't want glass just raining in on you and getting in your eyes. I made a video on an egg, how to fill that full of glass and throw it in someone's face, and they're done. You know, there's so many things you can use as weapons. That's why I like talking to these old Vietnam veterans. You know, I have them teach me how the VC used everything as a weapon. You know, me personally, I hate windows. Now, I like to be able to see out. I have peepholes everywhere where I can see out. And remember, if a place is hard to get in, it's hard to get out. Yeah, them frozen paintballs hurt like hell. Look, in a lot of countries, that's their number one weapon is machetes. Thank you, Cat Girl 66. I do my best. You know, I don't look at this as my channel. I look at this as our channel. You know, that's why any good information, put it in the chat. If any of y'all make a good video, email it to me and I'll post it on this channel. You know, with your permission, of course. You know, if it's good information, I'll post it. I'm not I'm not doing this to be famous or any of that. I'm actually quite of a shut-in, you know, really. The only time I go out is when I got to work, when I got to do things. Other than that, you know, I pretty much keep to myself. You know, that's why I would do great on that show alone. I value my alone time. Hey, you know, in a lot of countries, a machete is their number one weapon. And they are very effective, and they got a lot of reach to them. A lot of reach. So, there's a couple things you need to think about when choosing a blade. If you have a small blade, it's hard for them to take away from you. If you have a long blade, it gives you the advantage of reach. So, choose wisely. It's all according to what space you're fighting in. And train, train, train. Never train with a live blade, though. Somebody's going to get hurt. Never train with a live weapon. Somebody will get hurt. But make something that looks like a knife. I wish I had my training knife sitting out. I'm never prepared for these videos. I should have had it out. But I have it looks like a knife, but it's not. And we spar. We get out there in the sand pit. We fight like hell. That's what happened to my nose. But, we just do scenario. What if? And we train for it. And we grow a lot of food. We got rabbits out here. Little Miss Prepper, she loves her rabbits. We got ones that are breeders. So I allowed her to name them. Their offspring, I just call them Salt and Pepper because they're for eating. And, I love wild gamey food. It is what it is. I try not to go to the store. The last time I sent Little Miss Prepper to the store, she didn't hardly get nothing. And it was over $100. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? And she showed me the receipt, and I'm like, oh, man, not too long ago, $40 would have got all that. This is a slow burn. Our money is devaluing at a very alarming rate. Now is the time to gather unto you what is yours. What I'm investing my money in is manual farming tools. That way sure, we got a tractor out here and all, but I don't use none of that. I do it all manually. Couple reasons. I get out there in that heat. That way my body gets used to that heat. You got to acclimatize to your environment. If the grid goes down and you're not used to that heat is going to kill you. Yes, that's why I raise my own chickens. And all North American birds are edible. All of them. And I strongly recommend, for a survival situation, a pellet gun. Get you a very strong pellet gun. And, the old saying is true. It tastes like chicken. I hunt small game with a pellet gun. And I'm a country boy, so I fry everything. Hell, I'd fry cholesterol if I could. But, I fry everything and enough salt and it'll taste good. But I shoot a lot of birds out here, a lot of squirrels. I'll eat anything. There's nothing. If it won't make me sick, I'll eat it. Yes, absolutely, Robert Miller, you're correct. That pellet gun's nice and quiet. Someone doesn't hear, oh, they just shot something to eat. Because when people are hungry, it is literally going to be like a scene from The Walking Dead. The just cooking food is going to be treacherous. Because when they smell that food cooking and they're hungry, well, think of it this way. You got a mama with hungry kids. That's why, you know what? Research a solar cooker. They're easy to make. And a solar cooker is a way to go. No smoke. And the sun will do the work for you. Yes, the hungry will be the walking dead. And I hate to be hard about it, but I have warned people and warned people and warned people to prepare. And I see a lot of people, they're not preparing. So while they're out living it up and partying, when they come to me begging, I'm gonna be like, look, man, I saw you out at the mall buying you all these fancy things. Well, I'm saving my money, buying seeds and gardening tools and putting back. No, sorry for your luck. If I have extra, I'll let you work for it, but you're going to get your butt out there and work. That's just, you're going to have to be hard. Yeah, you can see a flashlight from a long ways away. Exactly, Ivy. You're right. I see these people out there living it up. So all you living it up, don't come crying to me when your ass is hungry. Because I'm going to be like, I could have been living it up too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. PAMT, yeah. Absolutely. Me, I've got me a nice solar cooker I built. And I do have propane out here that I can cook on. But I'm also piling up wood just in case. I do a lot of barbecuing anyhow. I am a redneck, and I like wood flavored food. So I do a lot of barbecuing out here. And, everybody needs to find alternative. Yeah, like Bigfoot. Can't find me. Everybody needs, right now is the time to start living as if the grid has already gone down. Me and Little Miss Prepper, we've been living that way for the last 5 years. We're already used to it. I don't have no television in my home. I got this little hotspot. It costs me $10 a month. That's it. I got this little cheap little computer. I'm surprised it even works. And my phone is a military grade phone, and it got busted up in an altercation at work. And when that phone dies, that's it. I'm not buying another phone. Me personally, I think those cell phones is intel gathering. They're tracking everything you do on those things. They know everywhere you've been. Roast up to beef food cooked over cherry and hickory made me cook and grill with 3 trailer trucks. Yes, right now I got some pecan trees out here and a lot of oak trees. But those pecan limbs, man, they really flavor up that food. I like to cook on wood. I'll never forget years ago, I had some Latino friends and they came over and I invited them over for a barbecue and they're like, where's your charcoal? I'm like, I'm cooking it on wood. And they're like, you're what? What? How are you going to cook without charcoal? I'm like, on the wood, man. Yes. You're right, Robert. You're absolutely correct. Y'all read his comments. He's right. I mean, I live primitively for a reason. Now I tell you, when I splurge, you know what I call splurging? Get me a bar of that Sasquatch soap. I really like that stuff. Yeah, that means it's time tested. It's a good one. They built stuff right back then. But that's me splurging, me telling Little Miss Prepper, hey, go by Walmart and get me a bar of that Sasquatch soap. I really like that soap. Is expensive, but it lasts longer than regular soap. And I love it. I love that Sasquatch soap. It's real soap. It makes me feel a lot cleaner. You know, I'm not affiliated with it, but I do recommend using that soap. Even Little Miss Prepper, she loves it. She's like, man, I feel so clean after using that stuff. It's real soap. You know, I mean, so that's me splurging, is getting a bar of soap. You know, I have a meat grinder. You know, like I don't know if you heard me say it before, but anytime I want a deer, I just let Little Miss Prepper drive my mama's truck. Because we got deer everywhere out here, and the truck's in the shop right now from the last deer she hit. And I hate it when a deer goes out that way. I'd rather hunt it. So when she pulls up and there's a deer in the back of the truck, I'm like, I'm not happy, but I go ahead and clean it. I don't waste nothing. Nothing, even the bones. I make bone broth out of them bones. And, you know, after I cook them bones, I bust them open and eat the marrow. Then, when it's just nothing but the bone left, I heard you can grind those up, but I put the bones in my soil. It's basically bone meal. It makes the plants grow well. I waste nothing. You know, that's what people need to learn. Yeah, that, you know, that For Patriots, they do have a lot of good stuff on there. And that solar kettle for Patriots, that, I like that. You know, eventually, if I have time and I can get the money, I'm going to get me one of those. You know, if anybody has any things that they want to advertise, you know, just send it to me and I'll do an honest review on it. Heck no, I'm not, you know, I will eat roadkill in a heartbeat. I see a deer that's been hit. If that joker's still good, I'm breaking out the knife and I'm cleaning it right there. Now out here, if you move it, you're supposed to call the game warden. Yeah, I have 2 camp showers, but if you look down my video list, we literally take a bath in a little swimming pool. Yes, the mirrors will help spread that light out. But no, I will eat roadkill. I got no problem with that. There is no shame in my game at all. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, they talk about, well, if I won a lottery, if I won the lottery, I would not change the way I live at all. Now, I would buy me some more property, but I'm comfortable living the way I live. I actually like it. I have come accustomed to living this way. I don't think I could live somewhere that had a bunch of windows in there. Yes, it is. Fresh roadkill is good meat. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, if I get it before the buzzards do, I'm going to eat it. And, you know, that's another thing. A lot of prepper channels, they don't tell you, you need to put salt back. Couple reasons. You're going to need that salt. When you run out of all your canned meat because it has entirely too much salt in it, but when you run out of that canned meat, you're going to need that salt. Two reasons: your body needs it, and another reason, it's a good way to preserve meat. It's to salt it real good and smoke it. That's how I preserve a lot of meat. I have a lot of practice. I cut it in little thin strips and I smoke it. Salt licks work. Now, I wish Little Miss Prepper was here because she would tell you. I buy salt licks and I bust them up, and I'm addicted to salt. I'm just going to say it. And I love them. I buy a salt lick and I'll bust it up and I'll eat little pieces of it. Yeah, you need that salt. And I love salt licks. For me, I'll buy a salt lick, and for me, I like to bust it up and just, where people eat candy and sweets, I crave salt. I think it's got a lot to do because I sweat so much, because I do so much out there in this heat. And I really do run 7 miles in flip-flops. I really do. And when little Miss Prepper is running, because she can't keep up with me, I have to run back and forth, so that doubles my mileage. Go try to supply and get medical salt licks for your deer hurt. Yeah. Did you put it in Mylar bags with O2 absorbers? That's another thing too. If you have a chance, you need to buy Mylar bags, because they are making them illegal. They say, oh, they cause cancer. What about cigarettes? They don't want people prepping. They do not want people prepping. Control the food and you control the people. I see a lot of prepper channels on here where they're like, they want us to eat bugs. I'm not eating no bugs. I'll eat bugs. I got no problem with that. Now, would I rather have a steak? Yeah. But now, if you're going to eat a grasshopper, you better cook it or you're going to get tapeworms. I'm telling you, I seen a buddy of mine. I warned him, and he was eating them raw. And sure enough, about a month later, he had a 3-foot tapeworm. Yeah, drug dogs can't smell through Mylar bags. Back in the day, I was a gangster, okay, and they just used saran wrap and duct tape. I don't know what's changed, but I'll tell you how to beat that where you can't get a Mylar bag. Go down and buy you a survival blanket. It's basically Mylar. Buy you a survival blanket and make it into a bag. Yeah. Well, you can buy they sell those survival blankets. They're made out of Mylar. You can make that into a bag. There's always a way around it. You will always, if you use this, because this is your best weapon. So try not to get hit in the head as much as I do, or you'll have brain damage. But your brain is you'll always find a way around. No matter what ridiculous law they pass, you can always find a way around it. Yeah, now's the time. I like to buy America, but hey, if I can't get it here, I will get it somewhere else. It is what it is. Now is the time. We are running out of time. Whether you're a Christian or not, you can believe what you want. Okay, I don't judge nobody. I can't. If I judged, I would have to condemn myself for the things that I have done in my past. So I don't judge nobody. Now, don't be hurting no women or children around me, or you gonna have problems. But other than that, I don't judge nobody. Yeah, Amazon has a lot of stuff. I'm trying, I want to get that movie, The Ultimate Warrior, with Yul Brynner, just so little Miss Prepper can watch it. I'm just having a hard time justifying spending that money because I'm trying so hard. I'm picking up cans. As crazy as it sounds, the less the dollar is worth, the more every penny counts. And little Miss Prepper, she has just got good eyes. Every time we walk out of a store, good morning, Betty. Good morning. Every time we walk out of a store, she finds change on the ground. Like people just throw change. I don't know. She always finds dimes, nickels, pennies. Oh shit. Yeah, she finds she always finds money laying on the ground. And I'm telling her, that's all good and all, but you need to be looking where the hell you're going and looking around, see what's going around. I see so many people walking around with their faces on these cell phones. I'm like, man, are you crazy? You're going to get jacked. You better pay attention. It's getting rough out there. I mean, look. Sorry, Robert Millard. I don't know who restricted that message, but it says message restricted. I don't know who did that. That must have been YouTube. I would never do that. That's weird. You must have touched an okay. I was like, say you must have touched a nerve, cause my adopted daughter that I love so much. One of her videos, she touched a nerve that was so truthful that YouTube wouldn't let me monetize it. I suggest, subscribing to her channel. Buy the largest Mylar bags, cut out heat press sizing. Stuff on the ground can be placed as a... Yes! Yes, it can. That's what they would do in Iraq, Afghanistan especially. I don't have no Facebook. I Facebook, them jokers kept putting me in Facebook jail. So I was like, you know what? Well, I have to do that. Thank you, Christian constitutionalists. I didn't know that. I want to own it. Yeah, I was in Facebook jail so much. And, I had one hell of a job resume. Anywhere I went, they would just look on my Facebook and go, you're hired. But I lost a lot of good friends because of Facebook. Everybody was taking everything the wrong way, man. They were taking it the wrong way. So I would have friends, say, I'm like, look, man, quit being so. So finally, I was like, you know what? I'm tired of Facebook putting me in jail. All they really do is profile you. All Facebook is a profiling mechanism. So when they come out with that social credit score, they're going to look at your Facebook. And, most of us on here, we're going to have a terrible social credit score. Because most people that's watching this channel, we completely disagree with what the hell is going on. So they're going to give us a terrible social credit score. Yeah, Facebook is an intel gathering. It really is. It gathers your pictures, your locations, your friends. It's intel gathering. I'm one of the few people, when I leave my home, I don't take my phone with me. Because even though your GPS is turned off, them, they, whoever them and they is, they still know how to help. They know where you're at. They track you. Please start paying attention when you come out of the stores if you never keep both. Absolutely, you better pay attention. Yes, ask me a question, please. Can I ask you a question? Do you think YouTube is tracking? Yes, I do. Absolutely. That anything done on the internet is going into a supercomputer and is being put back. But I'm a YouTuber. I'm going to exercise my freedom. I don't do Facebook. I don't do that. There's a lot of things I do not do. But I am going to do YouTube. And if they come after me, so be it. I'll take them with me. And you can see, look at my face. I'll take them with me. I'm not afraid of dying. At all. Nobody can scare me with death. You know, I have a lot of struggles in life that I keep to myself. But for me, death is freedom. So, but I am going to fight to the bitter end. But yeah, anything done on the internet is being tracked. Like I said, we're going to have a social credit score. And I'm telling you, mine's going to be awful. And I really don't care because I'm not going to show up for their food apocalypse because I grow my own food. What is your best recommendations for a woman to carry for self-defense? Number one is a knife. Number one, a knife. At close range, and you got to be mentally prepared to use it. A knife, I recommend. Number two, a gun. Carry a gun. You need a projectile weapon. That way, before they get up on you, you can smoke them. But a lot of times people are devious and they'll talk real calm and slick and get right up on you, then launch your attack. That's when you use that knife like a potato peeler and just peel them off of you. Who is a knife expert? Even a 4-year-old kid can cut a steak. I recommend just in case you learn how to use actually. Yeah, throwing a knife, but if you only have one knife, do not throw your only weapon. What size of zip ties do you go around? The larger the zip tie, the better. You got to get the big ones. And here's a tip. They make some zip ties out of metal. And if it's a metal zip tie, they're not cutting that loose. And see, the zip tie, when you zip it, it doesn't strangle them. It cuts off the blood to their brain and they go right out. It literally it's like turning a switch off. It's not lack of oxygen, it's lack of blood to the brain. Okay, I get to show that. I'm learning, guys. I'm learning this here. Can you also do the same thing with a belt? You can, but you're going to have to keep that pressure on there till they go out. Now, speaking that you brought the belt thing up, good morning from Arizona, son of the desert. A pleasure you being here. Now, I know a lot of people that say, I'm not carrying no tourniquet because I wear a belt. That, if you have to use a belt for a tourniquet, by all means use it. But that's like saying, I'm not carrying no knife because I'm just going to walk over there and bust out that window and use that piece of glass for a knife. No. Very Independent is a good channel. To me, YouTube is not a competition. And they sell the best. Okay, I have a great knife question, a gun, but I keep a taser in my car with the unreach for those who want to try to reach in my car. I also keep a knife in my pocket, my door. Yeah, I carry a taser too at work. Fun fact, hold that taser to your doorknob and let somebody reach for that doorknob. That I try not to, whatever you do not, yeah, you could use a zip tie for a tourniquet. Absolutely could. If it's big enough, hell yeah, that would make a good tourniquet, by the way. You zip tie that, I didn't even think of that. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I never even thought of that. Damn right, the zip tie would make a good tourniquet if it's big enough. You're welcome. But yeah, hold that taser to that doorknob. When they grab hold of that doorknob, that's funny. Yeah, a ratchet belt. Yes, that will work great for a tourniquet. Absolutely. Absolutely. Tools are made for a specific purpose, but can be used for other things. Yes. It's all about, you just got to think. Don't think outside the box. There is no box. Your mind is your only limitation. When some people tell me, like I'll have people troll me and say, there's no way in hell you run 7 miles in flip-flops. When they say that, do you have to loosen the tourniquet? No, you don't. That's a myth. That's a myth. No, you don't. You don't have to loosen that tourniquet. No. You keep that tourniquet tight and get their asses to a hospital. But no, they will not. I had one of my managers say, if I get shot in the leg or the arm, don't tourniquet me, just let me die, because I don't want to. I said, look, man, I will tourniquet that leg and it will be saved. It'll be fine. Vanity. You can see there's no shame in my game. I got store-bought teeth sitting over there because I've had my front teeth knocked out fighting. But I ain't wearing them damn things. I hate them. So, like I said, I got store-bought teeth. My front teeth been knocked out because I really like to fight. That's why I work as a bouncer. That's why MMA fight. You seen the picture? That was me in one of my MMA fights. Now, I got a good one for you. Now, the video is rough, but if you go down to my very first video in my videos, that's me getting my ass kicked by a giant. That man, he was a good fighter. He whooped me good. Tourniquet, better chance of tissue damage, limbs, lost tourniquets. Yes, that's true. Now, I got a bag. I would grab it. Now, I have a certain tourniquet I carry, and I carry that for children and very petite women. But, life over limb. If I get my leg blowed off and I'm bleeding to death, put a tourniquet on that stump. I don't give a damn about that leg. I'll peg leg it. I do not care. I'm not like most people, obviously. I had a buddy of mine. He was being a dumbass and he stabbed a knife and his hand slid down the blade and cut the tendon in his pinky. And no matter what they did, they could never make his pinky work. So we'd go out target practicing on. His pinky was always getting in the way. And I'm like, man, just cut that damn thing off. And he was like, I know you would cut it off if it was yours, but hell no, I'm not cutting it off. You're exactly right, Robert. You're exactly right. Y'all read Robert's comment. He's correct. And it's life over limb. You know, if somebody truly loves you, they're not going to give a shit if your leg is gone as long as you're alive. They're not going to care if your arm is gone as long as you're alive. You know, it's life over limb. I have tourniquets. So many people. When I was in Afghanistan working as a contractor, yeah, never show fear. Look, no fear. I'd always tell the guys, look, tourniquet the leg next to the door. Because when we hit a roadside mine, that's usually what got it, was that leg. But if you had a tourniquet around there, you damn right, I keep an axe too. That's right. That's right. Ivy, you're right. Yeah, y'all put as much good information, and I'll try to keep up with the chat, but definitely put the good information in the chat, because Little Miss Prepper, when she gets home, she will watch this and take notes. Because I'm going to tell y'all a secret. Me and Little Miss Prepper, we're writing a book. And when we get done with it, for people that's been on my channel a long time, you know, for you loyal followers, y'all will get one for free. Yes, you're right. Yeah, we're writing a book. Oh, that would be great. I don't to have. You know, I have a very large library of books that other people have written. But thank you. Thank you so much, Son of the Desert. But, you know, for years, and I'm just going to, like I said, you're going to get honesty from me. Sorry about that. I do suffer from PTSD. I do see a psychologist once a month. And my psychologist for the last 20 years has been trying to get me to write a book. Because she's like, you know, the stuff you have been through, that would be a bestseller. I mean, it's amazing that you're still alive. Okay, yeah. Wing bore spears with 22 to 30-inch handle. Indoor outdoor guns come along. 9% of troops carry spears. Yes, a lot of people don't know this, but everybody associates Vikings with the axe. You know, most Vikings fought with a spear. Now, been working many years, but yes, you're going to need that library. So when the grid goes down, a couple of reasons. You got that library to reference to. And me, I don't play. The only game I play is paintball and airsoft. I hate board games, and I don't do that. So I read. I'm a reader. I read a lot. Now, you can believe what you want to believe. You know, like I said, you can be an atheist. You can be a Islamic. You can be a Christian. You can be a Mormon. You can be a Jehovah's. I don't care. I don't care. But I read the Bible. I read a lot of spiritual books. But I mostly read prepping books. And like I said, me and Little Miss Prepper, we're writing a book. Now, I'm going to have two versions. I'm going to have a version of things that I have experienced in life, you know, and I'm going to have to leave out a lot of things, you know, but, you know, I used to be a bad guy years ago. I never hurt no women or kids, but I did a lot of bad things in my misspent youth. I was the only kid that rode a Harley to middle school. You know, for me, now I know my son's watching this, so boy, you better do good in school. But for me, school was like a prison. I hated it. But I wish I'd have paid attention because I can't spell for nothing. Yes, definitely take notes. Encourage my child to read. Yeah, read. Educate yourself. Don't get indoctrinated. When someone else is teaching you, they're teaching you their way. If you educate yourself, you're not indoctrinated. I hope you all talk about. Yes, you know, they're banning a lot of the truth. It's like every other country in the world is have their citizens to prepare for something. But our government is not doing that. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You need to get you a side hustle. Everybody needs to have a side hustle. Now, YouTube is a good way, but look, it took me 5 years just to get monetized. And I really don't make much on YouTube at all. I really don't. I do YouTube because I feel it is my patriotic duty as the All American Prepper to help people get through what's coming. Yeah, I'm a self-made man, you know. I, you know, but I, uh, I do this because y'all share y'all's information with me. I learn too. And I have a lot I can teach. I got a lot of videos on foraging. I got a lot of videos on knife fighting. Watch anything you ask them about silver, they have no idea what. Yeah, yeah. You know, check your change. Check your change. Any penny that's 1981 or over, that's real copper. That's worth more than a penny. Study your change. Because a lot of that change you get is literally some of it. Occasionally, I will find real silver in there. And this whole go green deal, they cannot make these solar panels without silver. They can't do it. They're going to have silver. They're going to have copper. You know, metal. With the people with you, it's hard to find people like you. Thank you. I appreciate you. I shoot. I'm a straight shooter. I shoot straight from the hip. I tell it like it is. I really don't give a shit, what people think about me. I really don't care. I don't do this for that. I've never cared what people thought about me. I'm not trying to win no popularity contest. You need to head outside and do some chores. Thanks for the live, great information. Yes, we'll watch over. Thank you, PAEMT. Thank you for being with us. And yeah, we have gone over the hour mark. So I don't want to hold y'all on here too long. I know other people, yeah, little Miss Prepper just let me know it's been over an hour. All right. So thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you all. I could talk all day long, but I understand y'all have things to do. And yeah, Boss Lady has spoken. A lot of people got it twisted. She's the boss. As long as you thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. A lot of people got it twisted. Little Miss Prepper, she's the boss. I do what she tells me to do. I'm yes, ma'am. And she done told me it's an hour. So thank you. Thank you all for being here. Stay strapped, stay ready, and have a blessed day. Thank you very much.